a mystery to solve today. And
No.
this
You are.
mystery is finding out what is not known. Hence, this. You don't know who this is or what this is.
You're Miss Monroe.
But you are going to find out very, very soon. So, we have a problem on the board, and it looks very different from any problem that you've seen because something is amiss. Something is not right, and we need to figure out what it is.
It's the end.
Obviously, there's not supposed to be letters in our mathematical
But
equations.
there is.
So, when we have a letter in our mathematical equation, we have to do what we know. What you all know is this looks like Miss Monroe, dressed like Miss Monroe was dressed this morning.
Because it is.
So it must be, go take a nap. So it must be somehow related to whoever Miss Monroe is.
You are.
So we solve what we know. We know the side with the two numbers because we know how to put two numbers together, whether we add them, multiply them, subtract them, divide them. We know that. So solve what you know.
12.
And what we know is that 6 times 2 equals
12.
So write it underneath because we've already figured out one part of the problem. It's dressed like Miss Monroe. That is what we have as proof. 6 times 2, we know that. So solve that. Then we're just going to bring everything else down. I mean, there's still stuff that we have to figure out. There's still a disguise, there's still a weird voice, there's still a hat. There's all these things that don't quite make sense. But we did what we know. We solved what we already knew. Just bring everything else down. Now, we've also learned in 3rd grade that there are opposites. Addition has an opposite.
Subtraction.
Multiplication has an opposite.
Division.
So when we see addition, we are going to do the opposite to get rid of the number to have the letter by itself so we can figure out the disguise. Who is N? And what number is hidden underneath him? The way that we do that is to, like I said, do the opposite. Subtract 9. That way, we know 9 minus 9
0.
is nothing. And so n plus nothing is going to equal n. But then, what we did to one side, we have to do to the other. Repeat that. What we do to one side, we have to do to the other. So whatever I did to this side, I have to do to this side. What did I do to this side?
Subtract.
I subtracted. So guess what I have to do to this side?
Subtract.
I have to subtract.
No.
So 9 minus 9, we already said is 0, so n plus 0 equals n. And now, boys and girls,
We know who you
here it is. We are going to figure out what that sneaky n was hiding all along. Because that n is whatever 12 minus 9 is equal to. What is it?
3.
3!
Oh my
You
goodness.
unmasked the surprise and you figured it all out.
She's taken.
Now n equals 3.
Miss
So you have unmasked and figured out our answer, but we need to make sure that you're correct. And the only way to make sure that you're correct is to
Stop
plug
talking.
this into the problem.
Oh no.
When we plug it into the problem, we're not going to use n anymore because we figured out that sneaky n. We know what it is. It's the number 3.
Oh, wow.
So put the number 3
3 plus 9 equals
plus 9 equals 6 times 2. And then we're going to see if this side equals this side. And if they do, we are complete.
Correct.
3 plus 9,
12.
6 times 2.
12.
We solved the mystery. We figured out that n was sneaking around. That 3 was sneaking around as an n, and we unmasked it. If you've ever seen Scooby-Doo, you know that you have to get to the end of the program, and they take off the mask, and you're able to figure out who the disguise was. That disguise was
John
simply
Robin.
the number 3.